Well, hey there, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good middle of the week. Now, I know I'm wearing something different of the team that I plan on talking about here, but I found this interesting that the first vote for the new arena district and the redoing of the Delta Center and everything in Utah for the Jazz and the prospective Utah Yeti Outlaws, whatever their name's going to end up being, their the current hockey club. The first vote of this $900 million project that is going to the Smith Entertainment Group to redo the Delta Center and to get this arena district built up. The first vote overwhelmingly passed their city council. Now, I saw that and I heard that and I thought, almost 30 years in Arizona, and they couldn't sniff an arena deal anywhere, no matter where they were. Whether it was in Glendale, whether it was in Phoenix, Scottsdale, wherever. Nobody wanted to touch them. They moved to Utah. And basically within 7 months, now I mean there's still some hurdles that need to be figured out here. But because it's still got to go to the state and then it's got to go back to the city council and stuff like that. And apparently there was some opposition from some people, but the Salt Lake City Council, I mean, overwhelmingly voted for this to give this $900 million to this arena district because they feel we've got it's a one-time shot. They figure this is the only chance they're going to have to basically make sure that their teams are staying there long term. 30 years they're talking between the Jazz and the current hockey club / what I hope will be Yeti. But it's just I found it interesting hearing about it and thinking all those years in Arizona, all those years messing around with different places, Tempe, Scottsdale, Phoenix, Glendale, wherever they went to, wherever they tried to get an arena done, and nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted to touch them. And in just 7 short months, they basically have gotten further in 7 months in Utah than they got in almost 30 years in Arizona. I think that's rather telling, and I think that should be rather telling, especially for any prospective owner that might want to try and get the Arizona Coyotes or get an NHL team back in Arizona. This should be telling for the NHL that when you're in a market that really wants your team, you'll figure out a way to get it done. Salt Lake City, Utah is figuring that out. And the fact that they've done this in 7 months, while the Coyotes had almost 30 years to try to figure this out and never even got close, I think that's telling. That is telling, and that there's a lot of, they have a lot of faith in Ryan and Ashley Smith and the Smith Entertainment Group that they can get this entire thing done. And and it's interesting because one of the bigger things is a lot of people talk about the sight lines in Delta Center and all that, and everything that they've got to do, renovation wise to make this basketball arena into a place where you can have a good environment for hockey games. And how they said, well, there's only about, there'll only be about 11 or 12,000, seats that will be, unobstructed. So you're already tripling the attendance. So, okay, 11 or 12,000, unobstructed views. Okay, you're already tripling what Arizona was drawing. You're already tripling the amount of attendance there than you were at Mullet Arena in Arizona. So, already that's a win. Even though they want to make this into a place where there's no unobstructed view for any of the NHL games. But I thought it was interesting that in just the span of 6 or 7 months, Utah has gotten this far and have already got the first vote passed. Everything is on track for this team and the Utah Jazz staying in Salt Lake City, Utah for a long, long time. And I just thought I would come on here and say how interesting I think it was that they got this far in 7 months, and all those years in Arizona. What a waste! What a waste of time! You look back on it. It just almost 30 years they wasted in Arizona. Was just wasted in Arizona, and it shows that Arizona. Yes, the ownership groups that were there were horrendous, but it just, to me, kind of goes to show a lot of these places, they didn't want hockey in Arizona. To me, they just didn't want hockey in Arizona, which, to me is a slap in the face to a lot of the fans that are there, that, Coyote fans and this, that, and the other. But the fact that they got this done so fast in Salt Lake City and Arizona and all these places in Arizona, they just, well, we don't know, and yada, yada, yada. Even though, yes, the ownership groups were terrible, Salt Lake City got this done in 7 months. The first hurdle passed, and in almost 30 years in Arizona, they couldn't even sniff this first hurdle. So let me know what you guys think. What do you think of the first official hurdle being passed by Salt Lake City City Council? And do you think the whole thing will go through? I think it will, and I think it will go through quick. And I think by the end of the calendar year, all the I's are going to be dotted, all the T's are going to be crossed, and everything's going to be approved. And just how much better this team is now in just a few short months in Utah than they ever were in Arizona. Let me know what you guys think. Does the full thing get passed? This was just the first hurdle. Does it all get passed? I think it does, and I think it happens by the end of the year. But let me know what you guys think. Utah, Arizona, boy, apples and oranges. See y'all later.